Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Astral Tourist. I hope you've all been having a wonderful week. I had a bit of a disturbing astral projection last night, so I thought it would be fun to turn it into a great how-to. So what happens when your astral journey takes a wrong turn? In this episode of the Astral Tourist, I share a surreal encounter with wrong parents, a suspicious trip to 509 Xmas Lane, and a flashing malicious code warning. Learn how the Grey Rock method can shut down energy vampires, astral or otherwise, by giving them exactly what they don't want, which is nothing. I also have another episode in the how-to section about ideas for dealing with troublemakers, with astral troublemakers. And it covers like way more than this one is going to. So thanks for tuning in, and here we go. Welcome back to the Astral Tourist. Today we're venturing into the darker corners of the astral plane to discuss a survival tactic every traveler really should have in their little handbags, the Grey Rock method. Usually I talk about the beauty of the cosmos, or, chatting it up with aliens and astral malls and all this other stuff. But sometimes the astral plane throws you a curveball in the form of an energy vampire or some other little troublemakers and stuff. So yeah, this kind of stuff can happen and does happen from time to time, even if you have like a ton of experiences. So it's just, part of it. These entities thrive on drama, fear, and frustration. So if you feed them a reaction, they are going to get a 5-star meal. But if you become a Grey Rock, dull, uninteresting, and as exciting as watching paint dry, they eventually will just move on. And you have to do very little to make this happen. So again, with the, doing things the easy way, like I covered a few episodes ago. So Grey Rock means no emotion, no reaction, no reward. So last night I set an intention for a beautiful astral projection, somewhere beautiful. I kept it kind of general. I fell asleep and missed the direct exit. Instead, the universe handed me a massive 1-story house occupied by the wrong doppelganger parents. And by the way, I do not feel like these are doppelgangers of my parents. These were energy vampires. And I've seen these ones before. They're dodgy, shifty, always changing astral locales. I have encountered this pair more than a few times, I'm sorry to say. Not like super often, but often enough that I've got to wonder why my astral body keeps vibing to them or over to them or something. And there could be a number of reasons for that, which I'm not going to get into here, but this is how to deal with it. So as I was becoming lucid, I had already astral projected autonomously. I didn't remember it. It was an autonomous one, and I was becoming lucid within the projection, just to make sure I covered that part. So, and I was not like fully super lucid. I was on my old-fashioned flip phone, one that looked similar to one I used to have, only it was all grayed out instead of the pretty pink one I used to have. And I was talking to a friend, telling them about the weird place I was in. I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be staying here because it's weird. So I was already picking up like weird vibes, right? And then the wrong parent, the mom, the fake mom, decides that she wants to drive to a place that was very specific, 509 Xmas Lane, for some kind of a holiday fair. So I looked on my phone, which I know back in the day it did not have internet, but this one did. This one had Astral internet. So I looked it up on my phone, which is old tech but super tech. It's like a future tech disguised. And I've used this phone before in the Astral. And so I knew it could do all that. And so the ad looked legit, twinkling lights and holiday cheer and I thought, oh, maybe I'm wrong about this place. Maybe it's okay and I'm just feeling out of sorts or something. Began to doubt myself, which I should not have. So her and I got into her dingy looking gray car, and I'm like, don't judge people on their cars, blah, blah, blah. And she starts driving down a pitch black country road. This is at night, like midnight or something. I don't know, super dark. And no like street lights or anything. And after what felt like about 2 hours of staring at a single yellow line, I checked the phone again because according to my phone's information earlier, it had also been saying that this should only take about 2 hours to get to. And in Astral time, that's like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. But it felt like the 2 hours. And I should say, I was also having the feeling about this being a real drag. So I checked my phone again, and I was looking at the ad, and across the ad in large capital letters, it said Malicious Code. So, my subconscious wasn't whispering anymore, waiting for me to, get more lucid. And, it was screaming that this fair was some kind of a psychic trap. Or, maybe there were troublemakers there waiting for us. I don't know. But I knew something was off, right? So I told her we had to turn around because of the troublemakers. And I was getting weird vibes from her already anyway. And I wasn't sure if she was one of them. So I was like staying laid back, like, kind of being undercover. So I explained because she was getting a little bit upset about not going. I said, look, people in this neighborhood don't report things in all capital letters for a reason. It means there is bad news out there. I'm not going. And that's when her mask slipped. I was pretending not to notice, but she totally was, slipping here. Since she couldn't lure me to the destination, she started digging for a reaction during the 2-hour drive back. And she even got sarcastic and went for the gaslighting jugular. Now this is after a bunch of complaining about turning around and not checking it out anyway and all of that and my refusal to go. So fake mom goes, so how is your depression? Are those pills working for you? Now, here's the thing. I don't have depression, and I don't take those types of pills. So she was just winging it, throwing darts in the dark to find a weak spot. I mean, she didn't even know that I don't have depression. So, if I had gotten angry or defensive, she maybe could have feasted a bit. So instead, I unleashed the vitamin Monologue. So instead of a reaction she might have enjoyed or telling her, oh no, I don't have depression, so she could look for something else, right? I decided to go with, oh yes, the pills. Well, I've had great success with B vitamins lately. It's fascinating, really, the way B complex supports cellular energy, especially B12. And don't get me started on magnesium, the gold standard for muscle twitches. Oh, and spirulina. It's one of the best superfoods for oxygenating the blood. And so I was kind of observing her out the corner of my eye with the 360 vision. And she was vibrating with total frustration. She had wanted a tragic or sad spiel or confession of some kind. And here I was giving her a lecture on water-soluble nutrients. It was a spiritual filibuster. So as she kept hoping for a psychic breakdown of some kind, we passed a gold-lit convenience store, and a telepathic hit from it told me they had Tibetan candies. And I'm thinking, are those made from yak milk chocolates or something? And I was pretty curious about them, so I suggested we stop. But instead, she put the pedal to the metal and sped up, trying to inspire a fear reaction. So next, there were these holographic purple and black witches weaving in and out around the car. So I casually asked her, "Did you see something in the road just there?" And she said no. So I'm not sure if that was a subconscious cue from my own mind. I think so. But it could have been like something tricky she was up to. I'm not sure. And this all was coming together in my mind, and I was thinking, now I could use a mantra, a call on a deity, or manifest, a lightning storm and do something magical and witchy. But why would I show her my wheelhouse of astral abilities if I don't have to? Why expend any energy at all if I don't have to? Because remember, when you do these things, it's fun and it's great, but it also will shorten your amount of time astral projecting if you're using up all of your energy. So, if I were to show her that I'm powerful, that just makes me a bigger target, maybe a bigger meal next time or something. Not really, because I know how to handle myself, but I could have been in for more if she got some friends together or something. I don't know. So instead I chose to be low tech, just like my phone. I fumbled with my flip phone, pretending I couldn't even find the H key, because I kept suggesting to her, well, maybe we should find a hotel. It's a long way back. And so I was just like being the image of an inept, slightly confused tourist. Don't signal capability to someone looking for leverage. Go ahead and play stupid, play dumb. So finally I saw a green help button light up on my phone. And so I pressed that and quietly telepathed a request for immediate shift to a hotel or astral hub. And I figured a public place would be, way better. And maybe I'd meet some other people or something and lose her in the crowd. But we were soon shifted into a dim, old-fashioned motel lobby with a white rotary phone and huge numbers on it. I saw fake mom sitting on the couch next to me, looking absolutely exhausted. So I had accidentally shifted us both, not just myself. So that was my bad. But at least I had worn her out. She was way too tired to be nasty to me anymore, and probably much too tired to bother anyone else for a good long time. And, I was just about to go explore that Tibetan candy store and try to find that when I woke up. So here are some final thoughts. If you find yourself in a malicious code situation, stick to the script, meaning prepare one in advance. Prepare your boring topics in advance. If a vampire asks about your problems, give them a 10 or 20 minute lecture on the importance of vitamins, soil pH, or the history of moths, anything you know about. Read them chapters from a book that you've memorized or something. Whatever they don't like, or won't react to, just do that. Dim your light. Sometimes being the person who can't find the H and playing dumb is the ultimate power move in protection. You don't always have to be a hero to be the hero or the heroine. These types of vampy beings don't need your spiritual resume all on a platter for easy pickings. And the exit strategy. You can always fly away or just wake up. Those are the very easiest things to do. But if you want to win the long game or just test your mettle because you're already in it, simply be the most boring person in the room. And I will add on here for the gray rock method, sometimes going with even less information is better. Like, oh, you mean vitamins, and then act like you got distracted with something out the window. Or, oh, that's cool. And then again, like drift off, kind of ghost them a bit. Anyway, the main thing is to not engage, or when you do, to just be very dull and non-reactive to whatever they're trying to poke at there. So, have you had any run-ins with energy vampires in your travels? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, Happy astral travels. Have a great weekend, everyone.